Hey guys, how you doing? This is Manga section. I'm here to bring the review for One Piece episode 922. So the first thing I want to talk about is all the Zoro stuff within this episode. It was filler. Let's just get straight down into it. It was filler, all of it. Except for the last piece when we see Zoro and Yasu walking off towards Ibisu Town. That all happened in the manga. And yeah, the rest was filler. So I don't know if it happened off screen. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't, but it was filler. Not to say that it wasn't good filler. It was somewhat entertaining seeing Zoro, gambling. We know when it comes to directions, Zoro is fairly poor, very poor, I should say, really. But there's a bit of a gambler inside Zoro. And now, when I was watching these scenes, I was just thinking, how was this man so lucky when it comes to gambling? And my answer that I came up with was that he was using observation haki to do this. But then I started to think about it and I wondered, okay, if he was using observation haki the whole time, maybe how come he didn't know about the cheetah before, they started cheating? And then my answer to that was, it's been stated in SBS, like official sources, but not within the series, that when it came to post time skip, so going into the time skip, Luffy had the best conquerors haki, Zoro had the best ornament haki, and Sanji had the best observation haki. So maybe it just made me thinking that Zoro's observation haki at this present moment in time wasn't good enough to do both at once, and maybe, just maybe, at this moment in time when he was gambling, Zoro was practicing, pinpointing his observation haki. So at the time, he was just focusing on the dice, but when it came down to it, the cheating, he started to widen his view maybe, and that's why he didn't know at the very beginning of the episode. So there was that. Which, once the cheating was found out, this led to a little bit of action, some no sword style, some one sword style. People may confuse this for Conqueror's Haki, just trying to hit that Zoro at Conqueror's Haki, but the thing you need to remember is that one is filler, and two, I think it's similar to what he did to Manette back in Punk Hazard. So I forgot the name of the arc back in Punk Hazard, where she was so afraid that but she actually got cut. Basically, at the end of the day, I just think this is a really extreme fate. Where you think something's going to happen to you, so you start to feel the symptoms of it happening to you. But anyway, that's something to talk about Zoro within this episode. On the other side of things, more story driving things, was Frankie's stuff. So Frankie's gone back to work. He's apologizing because he missed some time off of work, and he's like to his boss, "Yo, I want to see these blueprints. I want to see these blueprints to Kaido's mansion that I've always been mentioning." And this is where we find out that the carpenter that Frankie thought has them doesn't have them no longer, and this leads to him running all around the capital trying to find these blueprints to no luck whatsoever. So he reports this back to Kinemon, and Kinemon says, "Alright, cool, just support the others right now. There's nothing more you can do, just support the others right now." So another thing to happen within this episode, we have the mink stuff. And now the minks are stealing food, obviously, to give them to others, but at the same time they are framing Shutamaru. This is a ploy to get Shutamaru to join them. It's a bit of an evil ploy, but Dogstorm, the Duke, has some sort of plan there. And now, is there anything else to talk about? Oh yeah, there is the stuff with Orochi and the brokers, and where we find out the brokers have come in like, "Yo, we need weapons, your demands are unacceptable, give us some weapons." And then Orochi is basically there like, "Yeah, I'm being unacceptable right now because right now I'm in a position where I can be the dick. I can be the jerk. I can be unacceptable if I want to, and that's where we see him transform. Is this devil fruit ability or not? The story hasn't stated that yet, so I won't state it. But yeah, we see him transform into the snake, into that not snake. Is it a snake actually? Anyway, but we see him transform within the episode. Is there anything else worth mentioning? There's just the stuff with we got Robin reaching where she's heading to, and we see Nami and Shinobu watching like within a small distance. But that's everything I have to say about this episode. There's a lot going on, not driving the story forward, but there's a lot going on to keep me entertained with this episode. So I won't give it a 2 star, I'll give it a 3 star. Like I guys want for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please go to my YouTube channel. And most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.